Hello, 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 and welcome, my Virgo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your soulmate read for April, May 2020. I am your reader, Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive president of Drawing the Circle Productions, and Virgo sun sign. Yay! 4 planets in Virgo second house because I'm Leo rising, and damn happy to be serving you today. If you are new to my channel, please do like, subscribe, hit that notification bell because I'm putting out content, it seems like every day pretty much. So you'll get a notification of when I do that if you hit that notification bell, hence the name. And feel free to comment in the comment section below because I do like the feedback. You know us Virgos, we live to serve, but we like to know that we're serving. Cool, cool. Let's get down to biz then, shall we? Please keep in mind, this is a general read. Please take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and check your other signs. That's why I always do Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs for the relationship-based spreads. Cool. There are only 17 cards in this spread, but it'll take about, they're going about 45 minutes or so. So I will do my best to do this reading for you because we're doing a soulmate contract read. A soulmate contract is very different from a twin flame contract. That's why there are 2 videos in the description box below I suggest you watch if you have not yet. One by me called Clarifying Twin Flame Soulmates and True Lovers. The other by Matt Kahn, Hay House author and spiritual teacher. His YouTube channel is extraordinary. Matt Kahn, K-A-H-N, all for love. And his is called Soul Contracts, Twin Flames and Soulmates Redefined. Check it out. Cool. And how we're going to do this is look at them as contracts, with party number 1 that we will call Divine Feminine and party number 2 which we will call Divine Masculine. Nothing to do with bodily gender, just energetic dynamic. Personally, I call it Divine Yin, Divine Yang, but people in the West don't get that language. So just keeping with the times, calling it Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine, Divine Animus, Divine Anima, whatever you want to call it. Let's do this. Focus on your breath. I will do the same. Keep us in the present moment. Get you as much clarity, guidance, and grace as possible on my end. You stay in the present moment. Follow your breath. You'll be able to tell what resonates and what doesn't. We're going to start with 2 Caroline Myss archetype cards, one for said Divine Feminine and one for the Divine Masculine, so you can figure out who you are in all of this. But all the decks that I read are in the description box at the very bottom. Please go have a look because there's a lot of other cool stuff on the way down to the bottom of the description box. I give good description box. Have a nice deep breath. Let's do this. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved, please. I need 2 cards, not that one. I need 2 cards. One for the Divine Feminine and one for the Divine Masculine in this Virgo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, sexual, intimate, romantic, soulmate contract for April, May 2020, please. One for the Divine Feminine, please. And one for the Divine Masculine, please. Now, by the way, notice I said happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, romantic, soulmate contract. You have more than one soulmate. You may have tens, hundreds of them, but they're not all sexual romantic. My mom and I are soulmates in that way that we help each other heal, which is the foundation of a soulmate contract. You help each other heal. So anyone where there is a symbiotic exchange of healing energy, you help each other heal, that's technically a soulmate contract. This one, however, this series, at least, that I do once a month, is about the romantic, sexual, intimate ones, because those are the ones we've been working on for thousands of years, let alone lifetimes. Cool? So, with Caroline Myss archetype cards, the way they are written, they have the shadow attribute and the light attribute, which indicates that Archetypes are neutral. The lead, the shadow, is supposed to be triggery because it's toxic. It's the stuff you don't want to look at. The light is the healthy aspect of it, the attributes that we are reaching for, and what you are helping each other heal in the soulmate contract, whether you've met each other or not. And look, I'm well aware of where we are on planet Earth and what's going on. Not everybody's hooking up right now, and nor should you be unless you're living with people, right? Even then. Careful. That being said, no matter where you are helping each other heal through the quantum, through the fifth dimensional unity consciousness. Cool. That's what these readings are for, to help each other heal. Soulmate contract. Ready? Who's our happy couple? Ooh, very, very Virgo. We've got the divine feminine gossip. Womp womp. And we've got the divine masculine martyr. Yeah, both sort of Virgo-esque. Let me read you the shadow. Again, it's supposed to be triggery if you have not just clicked off this video already. Get that both of these are very, very powerful. The gossip is part of the creativity family of archetypes. The shadow attribute thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information, betraying confidences. Now look, we've all gossiped, like particularly celebrity gossip, but I think if you're a celebrity, if you put yourself out there, comes with, right? Always has been that way. Really, if you think about it, even the gods, if they walked the planet, mythology is just the gossip, right? What was left behind. So the shadow side of that, we get that, the thrill, the power that comes from sharing something that you're not supposed to share. The light attribute awakens consideration for the feelings of others, honoring trust. So in the light side, my divine feminines, if you're the one watching this, if you consider yourself a divine feminine, you might not know until we get more cards on the table for sure, because we all have both divine masculine and divine feminine. This makes for a good counselor. This makes for a good confidant, the light side of the gossip. They actually can pull the truth out of people without doing much. It's just in their energy field, right? So what's the difference between gossip and confession? Confidentiality, right? And my vows to my gods are based on confidentiality, which is really why my intuitive skill is what it is. Because if somebody tells me something, I ask to forget it as soon as I'm done working with them, so that I can't possibly pass things on, which is why I also suck at names, I think. The divine masculine, we've got the martyr archetype. Now I know no one wants to claim the martyr, but it's the divine family of archetypes, and in its light, it's magnificent. The shadow attribute, however, addiction to self-pity, right? It's like, get down off that cross, somebody needs the wood. We've all had martyrs in our lives, and we've all done it, but usually when we're tired, right? Usually when we're exhausted, when we've given out more than we've taken in. And that's why my divine masculines, if you're the one watching this, if you're the Virgo, I get it. And even cross-watchers, this is a thing. Earth signs can tend to martyr because we work so damn hard, right? That we tend to take care of others before we take care of ourselves, which, you know, might get applauded and rewarded, but still isn't healthy, right? So that addiction to self-pity, watch for that, because we all hit there sooner or later. But the light attribute, learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. Service being the word of Virgo, right? So whether you are a Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, divine masculine, or in a relationship with one, get that the transcendent nature of giving oneself to service to oneself, I would say as well as another, right? To find that balance of service to others and oneself is what allows us to be healthy. Excuse me. Showing a little bit more cleavage, pectoral cleavage than, well, I'm always comfortable with it, but maybe not so much for YouTube. If you're still not sure, so maybe you have martyr tendencies and you gossip, don't worry. We're going to use the Daughters of the Moon Tarot to clarify for the Divine Feminine, and the Mythic Tarot to clarify for the Divine Masculine in a lovely little 5-card spread called the Element Spread. Fire, Earth, Air, Water, Spirit. We're going to ask the goddesses, the collective Divine Yin, for clarity on where this Divine Feminine gossip is in this Virgo contract. Ready? Nice deep breath. Oh, that feels good. My goddesses, please top 5 cards, top of the deck, element spread for the Virgo collective. Sun, Moon, for this Divine Feminine Gossip archetype in this Virgo collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, romantic, sexual, satisfying soulmate contract for April, May 2020. Please, element of fire. What does she want? Element of earth, what does she have? Element of air, what does she think? Element of water, what does she feel? Element of spirit, what is the voice of or the point of view of the soul for this Divine Feminine Gossip in this Virgo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign? Intimate, sexual, romantic, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, soulmate contract for April, May 2020. Maiden, mother. Crone. We'll do the same for him next, but let's see where she is. Element of fire, what does she desire? The learner, right? The 8 of Pentacles. A maiden learning from a crone how to weave a blanket. Remember that wisdom comes from experience, not from book learning alone, right? So there's something here about learning as we go. Now, my heating system just popped on, so if you'll give me a moment, I will turn that off. But first, a little piece of magic, what I like to call magic clap. It'll turn off in a few seconds. Just ran over, turned it off, put on the space heater, so it'll stay warm in here. So the 8 of Pentacles, right? In terms of desire, it's like, I want the wisdom from my experience. I just don't want to go through this. I want to learn. Now, for a gossip to do that, perhaps they have to really learn by being gossiped about. Or if this really is about awakening consideration for the feelings of others and honoring trust, that there is a lesson here that they want to learn, perhaps about having their own trust honored in this contract, right? I trust you. I've said that to so many people. I trust you. And as my friend Lillian from the conservatory, the Boston Conservatory, said to me back in the 80s, bend over, the knife goes in a lot easier. Thank you. Let's keep moving on. So what can she do to accrue that wisdom? Remember, knowledge plus experience equals wisdom. So what does she have in the element of earth to help her get that fire? So it's interesting. She's got earth in her fire position and fire in her earth position. The Sagittarian card. Now with court cards, sometimes they represent people, sometimes they don't. This Divine Masculine could very well be that that Sagittarian, but is it Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus? Who knows? But what we're looking at here, even if this isn't a person, because that's going to play out differently in the quantum field, we are looking at 9th house, mutable fire, expansion. Think the Sagittarian, the Archer, mutable fire, desire. I want that, I want that, flaming arrows. I want that, I want that. But the goddess here is Ceridwen, right? Transformation, the goddess of the cauldron, the changing, transforming aspect of fire. So if you put expansion and transformation together, what the Divine Feminine Gossip archetype here has is this expansive transformation going on in her life, and honestly, we're all going through that in some way, shape, or form on planet Earth right now, individually and collectively. So can she honor and trust that? Can she trust the process? Easier said than done. What's she thinking? Her element of air. She's thinking about oppression. Now this is half of the Devil card in this deck. The other half is the Coyote woman. This is absolutely, she's thinking about her limitations. She's thinking about the things that are holding her back and have held her back. Look, we would all love to go out and do things right now. Not wise. Just saying. Not going there on YouTube either. You know exactly what I'm talking about. But it's on her mind. I have to say, this is the 6th soulmate reading I've done. None of these seem like these people are together right now, which kind of makes sense. Because if you're already with your soulmate, you're probably not watching a soulmate reading unless you're looking for additional clarity of how to help each other heal. which is wonderful. But I have a feeling the majority of people watching these videos are like, where's my soulmate? Because imagine the more and more soulmates that come together, the happy, healthy, wealthy, wise kind, the intimate, romantic, sexual kind. We've been working on this for lifetimes to get this right? We had to go through a lot of learning to get the wisdom, to have the interior psychological scaffolding to handle that kind of true love in physical form. It's different when it's parent and child. It's different when it's best friend. Lovers are the hardest, right? That's why they're so tricky and why we have to go through so many twin flames before we can be the mate of our own souls and hence be a soulmate to another in a contract. So yeah, there are limitations, and if you look at this card, it's a woman buried under stones, but the stones are faces of people, so maybe this is all of the psychic weight she's thinking about, all of the people that she's been through, all the broken hearts, all the tumultuous, tricky twin flame contracts that she's had, that are only to make her better, but to make her evolve on a soul level. The personality doesn't have to understand that in order for that to be true. What's going on in her emotional field? Her element of water. The storm, the Five of Cups, right? Now, all storms pass. Of course, it's about emotional change, not emotional transformation. But I think we can say that this storm depicts some emotional upset. Now, myself as a divine feminine Virgo, I have to say I've sort of been through this already. Like these past couple of days in particular, I'm actually doing this reading on the day of the new moon, April 22nd. New moon will be later tonight, new moon in Taurus. So I kind of feel like I've been through this already. Yesterday was a rough day, high, stormy seas, perfect storm. If you watch the live stream I just did earlier today, I talk about that quite a bit. So hang in there. And by the way, feel free to express your truth to somebody, but do it in confidence. Do it in almost if you can do it through a counseling situation, do that. But you may need to express some emotions in a safe way where your boundaries and your confidentiality is respected. I did that with my support group, my support system yesterday, enough that today I could talk about it literally in a YouTube live stream to share what felt appropriate for me to share. Yeah, the wisdom that I got out of it. So this is clicking for me. One more card. What is the point of view of her soul? The voice of the soul. Two of Cups. Yeah, if you're not in your soulmate, romantic, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, sexual, intimate, romantic contract yet, you're being prepared for it. Two of Cups. It's the whirlpool in this deck. Two people in a whirlpool, two cups, as far away as possible, but slowly taking their journeys until they meet, right? That there is an emotional connection, an emotional attraction here worth waiting for, but you are in the crucible. You are in the process of transformation, facing your own fears, your own limitations, that emotional psychic weight, perhaps, considering this card of the Five of Cups in the emotional field, that you will get the learning and the wisdom from this. You will become wiser, but you have to go through the cauldron process of expansion. And I just said it in the live stream I did, that alchemy and transformation, the ascension process, is like how coal turns into diamond. Heat, pressure, and time. Here's the heat. Here's the pressure. It's just a matter of time. But you can go with the flow or not. You can't get it wrong. You'll eventually get there. Let's see what's going on with our divine masculine Martyr. He sounds like fun. Nice deep breath. My gods, please. Top 5 cards, element spread for this divine masculine Martyr. Oh, and the garbage men are coming. Perfect timing. Said no one ever. For this divine masculine Martyr archetype in this Virgo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, romantic, sexual soulmate contract for April, May 2020. Please, top 5 cards, my gods. Fire, what does he want? Earth, what does he have? Air, what does he think? Water, What does he feel? Spirit, what is the point of view or the message from his soul in this happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, sexual, intimate, romantic, soulmate contract, April, May 2020. Now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this again and wait until the garbage truck comes and goes, because it's right in front of my window and you'll hear every clunk of every bottle, every jar that moves. Cool. Here we go. Condominium life. Honestly, I'm not even shook by that. Usually that annoys me. Must be all this inner child work I'm doing. All right, let's see. Element of fire. What does our divine masculine martyr, what's going on for him? What he wants is the Page of Cups. What he wants is that new opportunity of love. What he wants is that message of love, whether to give it or receive it. Now, what's funny about this card is that this is Narcissus. Look up the myth. I know we're all talking about narcissists. There are passive narcissists. There are aggressive narcissists. There are covert narcissists. There are maleficent narcissists, malevolent narcissists. All these, it's like a pantheon of narcissists. But keep in mind, in terms of the mythology, this also is about self-love. It is an immature type of love, but it can be the beginnings of learning to love oneself. So in terms of a divine masculine martyr, considering the divine feminines are the ones more emotionally in tune, usually, then this could be like what he really wants is to learn how to love himself. This dude ain't ready yet for a soulmate contract. He's probably twin flaming all over the place. What's he got to help him get there? Oh, they're definitely not together. We got the card of the Hermit. So, yeah, self-introspective. This is the god Cronus, the Titan, time, right? Before I said alchemy, ascension, the healing process from the lead to gold or from coal to a diamond takes heat, takes pressure, and takes time. Well, here is the god of time, Chronos. A watch is a chronometer. Yeah, chronometer. So definitely for him to take this alone time, and considering so many of us are sequestered in our domains, being very careful with the language, you know why, then get that that's where this divine masculine is right now, and is probably martyring up a storm, addicted to his own self-pity of why me. But it's not just why you, dude. It's everybody right now is having to face their own shadows, deal with their own self, and go through their own personal alchemy. It's just how it is. What's going on in his mind, his mental level? Second major arcana card, he goes from the Hermit in Earth to the Wheel of Fortune. So he is planning, he is thinking about his destiny, about his fate, about perhaps the divine plan if he's tuned into such things. Now, the truth is the fates will have their way, but the tapestry's already woven, but it's woven in the quantum, which means there's a near infinite variety of variables that we experience as we go. The question is, what is on his mind? Is he trying to stop the wheel, spin the wheel, turn it backwards? Can't tell right now from this reading. That can play itself out in all of these different ways. But overall, the vibe that I get here is that he's thinking about his life. He's thinking about his choices. He's thinking about his fate versus his destiny. And there is a difference between fate and destiny. You suffer your fate when you do not learn, heal, and grow, which you will eventually. But destiny is what happens when you take the hero's journey. When you are heroic rather than villainous, right? When you learn, heal, grow, evolve, and really love yourself enough to make the choices that honor your soul, not just to feed the addictions of your personality. And if there is a narcissistic piece in this, to learn how to truly love yourself, because self-love isn't about narcissism. Self-love is what we came in to do, because as we love ourselves, we learn to love. Because if you don't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love anybody else? Going to get an amen? From the words of Saint RuPaul of the Drag Race. Let's keep going. What's going on from emotionally? This should be fun. Ha! The sun. Excellent. So the light is shining into his emotional world. That's magnificent. Self-service, service to oneself, that he might be going through an emotional enlightenment. Now that sounds good on paper or on cardboard, but really it can be a very tumultuous process. this dude's going through. And remember, I'm calling it dude, I'm calling it her and him, but we're not talking about biological gender here. But for the sake of my sanity and clarity, we're going to call it a him because of the divine masculine. This is the card of Apollo, the god of healing, the god of art, the god of light. So he is having some emotional enlightenment. Some light rays are getting down into some of that dank emotional baggage that is not just his, but is also part of the collective unconscious. So there is healing taking place. And by the way, not to mention it, 3 major arcana cards in a row. She's only got 1. He's going through the major, he's doing the heavy lifting here in this soul contract in terms of spiritual awakening. But with the Hermit there, I think he's having a rougher time of it because she's just thinking about, right? She's just maybe experiencing some mental oppression. He's going through a process that is rough. Yes, she's going through mental alchemy or thinking about it, but he's going through this alone, meaning he's probably not even telling anybody about it. So either one of these could be Virgos, perhaps both of them are. What's the point of view or the voice of the soul? 4 of Swords. Meditate, contemplate, rest. Now look, I learned this from Matt Kahn. I talk about him a lot because he's brilliant. Hay House author, right? The video of his I always have linked when I'm talking about soulmates and Path of True Love and Twin Flames. I can't believe I never heard this before. Before I heard it from before him, he goes, when you're depressed, it's a sign that you need deep rest. These two, if they are not together, are not supposed to be, at least right now. But as they go through their own healing, they are helping each other heal. It's sort of like this psychic second chakra umbilical cord running between the two of them, that whether they know each other and are separated, or if they had a dance and then that dance is over, looks like they're still connected here in some way. And we'll see if they get to come together eventually, but right now I don't think so. Particularly with that card of the Hermit, particularly with that card of oppression, particularly, look, her soul is still like, yep, this is my guy. Don't know if it's going to happen, but still in love with him. But for him, come here, he needs to work on himself, and he is. Kind of whether he wants to or not, he might be being dragged by the short hairs of the soul, so to speak. Very interesting element spreads. We've got 5 more cards that are going to hit the table, 2 of which are going to be from the Healing with the Angels Oracle by Doreen Virtue. Healing with the Angels Oracle, meaning 1 for her, 1 for him. What are the angels that are walking with them that they are healing with individually, but that are helping each other heal as a soulmate contract? Nice deep breath. Here we go. My angels, please, 2 cards in clarity. 1 for the divine feminine gossip, 1 for the divine masculine martyr in this Virgo collective. Sun, moon, rising, Venus sign. Happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, romantic soulmate contract for April, May 2020. Please, 1 for her and 1 for him. Those came out easily. Who's the angel with her? The angel of emerging. So it does feel like she is going to emerge from this place of mental oppression. So really it's her thoughts that are holding her back right now, which, if that's a Virgo, we kind of know that, right? We kind of know that we're over analytical, we overthink shit. It's just, we do, right? And it can totally weigh us down in the other areas of her life, but that she is emerging from it, quite like how a storm passes and the sun emerges. The sun is always there. The sun doesn't go out. It is just temporarily obscured. And what is it like after a storm, right? The earth is watered and more fertile. The air is clearer, right? The sky is cleaner. And I feel like her soul love for him in this contract is going to emerge more and more and more, but it is her mind that is twisting her if there is any pain and oppression going on. Perhaps, he'll never, but maybe he will. What's the angel with him? Enchantment. My least favorite word in the spiritual vocabulary, enchantment means that things are not as they appear to be. Now, if he can get that, what are the chances he's watching this reading? But if he can get that, and if she can get that, that things are not as they appear to be with him. That it might be that he is going through hell on earth, but that he's actually, and again, in a process of spiritual transformation and spiritual awakening. The spiritual path is not the love boat entirely. It's also the Poseidon adventure. It is emotional. It is hard. It's supposed to be, but we all survive it. And we came in to do this, and as we transform, we're all transforming. We're speeding up the planet. We're speeding up the ascension of planet Earth here, moving us into fifth dimensional unity consciousness. But this also means that the divine is at work, that this is all part of the divine plan, what he's going through. It just doesn't look that way. In this card, we have a unicorn, and people go, oh, I love unicorns. There are a couple of tons of raw muscle with a deadly weapon on its head and can only be tamed by a virgin, Virgo, or otherwise. Where are you going to find one? Well, Virgos are everywhere. Virgins? I don't know. Yeah, go read Lords and Ladies by Terry Pratchett. You'll see exactly what I mean by that. Not my favorite word, enchantment. I am a Virgo. I like things to be. Say what you're going to say. Say what you mean to say. Now I have that in my head, right? Do what you say you're going to do, right? Do what you say what you do. That happens so much on planet Earth, right? Jinkies. Look, his ability to martyr, I think he's going to find out exactly how much of a martyr he can be if he doesn't really find the transcendent nature of serving himself. Really, either one of these could be a Virgo, and they both could be. Just the dynamic. Let's get two more cards here from the Whispers of Love Oracle. The voices of the higher selves. Fifth dimensional and above higher selves. Nice deep breath. I love these decks. This deck, sometimes it just tells you exactly what to do. So the higher selves of all involved, mine included, I accept. Please, two cards in clarity. One for the divine feminine gossip, one for the divine masculine martyr. In this happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, romantic, sexual soulmate contract for April, May 2020. Please, the higher selves of all involved. One for her, please. Just pop it right in my hand. No, that's three. Please, just one card in clarity. Yes, for her. And one, please, for him. Let's see what she got. Romance. Lavish the one you love with your personal attention and affection. Now, again, they're probably not in the same physical location, but she's in love with him. This is a romantic love. Romantic, happy, healthy, wealthy, blah, 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 right? So if she can do this, and if this is me, I know who they're talking about. If I'll keep it in the eye for the moment, if I can just send this person love and give him my personal attention and affection without attachment to outcome, that will relieve the oppression and the burden. Why? Because love is the answer. What was the question? How do I get through this? Love is the answer. What's he got? Oh, I love this card. The card is called I Love You, and it's the same on both sides in terms of the artwork. I love you. These are very important words. He needs to be saying this to himself, to his inner child, to his emotional baggage, to whatever rises within him. But eventually, it really looks like he's going to be the one that says that to her. Just looks that way because she is in a process, and that is sort of the role of the divine masculine, the yang, to take the action, even if it's through a text, to reach out and say, I love you. Will he? Won't he? She's going to heal any way that she wants because she's healing her own romantic life anyway, so if he comes along, great, but don't worry. You can't screw up the path of true love, though the course of true love never did run smooth. Thank you, Billy Shakespeare, Midsummer Night's Dream. See, theater training does come in handy. Last card down. We're going to get you, of course, a Healing Mantra deck card from Matt Kahn, spiritual genius that he is. Although he has a penchant for sweater vests. I had to wear them in private school, so I swore them off for the rest of my life. It's okay, I have purple hair and I'm from New York. He's from the West Coast, and he's a Hay House author. Hay House don't want me. I'm a gay witch with purple hair that curses. They don't want me. Although if they offered me a contract, I would have my lawyers talk to them. If anybody from Hay House is watching, what are the chances? Slim to none. Nice deep breath. As we ask the ascended masters of soulmate contracts, yes, they do specialize. I think of them as a great big law office, actually. Being raised by a lawyer, of course I would. So please, my ascended masters of soulmate contracts, one card, just one, in clarity, for this Virgo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, romantic, sexual, soulmate contract for April, May 2020. What is the perfect healing mantra that it doesn't matter which one of them is watching this, if they chant it, if they say it, if they integrate it, if it becomes more familiar to the subconscious, they will heal each other. They will help each other heal, even if just one of them is doing it. That's the card. Thank you, my ascended masters. Celebrating simplicity. That doesn't compute for Virgos. We tend to do complexity. Celebrating simplicity. I am more fulfilled when there is less to manage and maintain. So though there is a lot going on planet Earth right now, our actions have been truncated. Great word. Our boundaries have been reset. We just can't go out and do things. So in a way, things have gotten more complex globally. But personally, we're all having to deal with things individually, that things are getting really simple. And if you're in a relationship that has hit its expiration date, it's going to get really simple. But keep in mind, simple need not imply easy. That's from the Course in Miracles. I am more fulfilled when there is less to manage and maintain. Therefore, you will be celebrating. I don't know if you can read it in this lighting. There we go. Celebrating simplicity. Oh, I love that that light turned itself off. There's a light on the camera that's triggers. I'm going to read this from the book. Anyway, celebrating simplicity. Hold on. It's alphabetical. Celebrating simplicity. I am more fulfilled when there is less to manage and maintain. I know Virgos agree with this. When there are fewer details to manage, you are able to receive more joy. The more commitments that pile up in your life, the less likely you are to find the time to take everything in. Once all moving parts have been arranged in a proper working balance, simplicity can be celebrated, and you glean the most benefit from your reality. This mantra is ideal for creating stronger boundaries necessary in any relationship, let alone twin flame or soulmate. Healing your inner people pleaser, Virgo, and finding moments of serenity. I am more fulfilled when there is less to manage and maintain. So if there's a lot on your plate, whether you're the divine masculine or the divine feminine here, that is the mantra to get you through it. And then I feel like as things settle down, they'll be able to eventually come together, and they will have a lot less psychic weight, a lot less going on individually, so that they can really come together and manifest a happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, intimate, sexual, romantic soulmate contract, which will be a benefit and a blessing to the world. I'm going to pop up the picture. We'll see what else comes in overview, shall we? Nice deep breath. Third and hopefully final magical app of the read. Because we've got the divine feminine gossip archetype, thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information, betraying confidences in the light, awakens consideration for the feelings of others, honoring trust. And that would make sense that she would want to learn from all of that. She's got the learner in the element of fire there, that she wants to learn. She wants to accumulate wisdom here. And, because there's a weaver here, totally connecting with the Wheel of Fortune and the divine masculine there, with the fates, with the spinning wheel and the weaving of the loom of fate, we are looking at a process of experiential learning that she wants. She wants to heal and learn from what she's been through. What she has to do that in the element of earth is Caridwen, the alchemical process, the Sagittarian card of expansion and mutable fire, lots of desire. So there's nothing wrong with what she wants, but it's like her desires may be transforming her, pulling her forward through her wisdom, and she's got to forgive, heal, and let go. Why? Because in her element of earth, she has her only major arcana card in this spread, which is Oppression, the card of the devil, that she's being weighed down by emotional baggage, perhaps the mental baggage, her thoughts and beliefs about past relationships. It is only her mind that is in the way, the conclusions that she has drawn that are holding her back and perhaps torturing her mentally, and that would show itself in the element of water with that Five of Cups. Yes, the storm is raging, but this storm will pass, and much more clarity will come as a result, and the love that she has for this divine masculine, whether they have met or not, whether they have danced together or not, will emerge. We've got the Two of Cups, the voice of the soul, saying that this really is a soulmate contract going on here, and with that angel of emerging, that love is going to come through after this storm has passed. And what's the message from the higher self? Romance. Lavish the one that you love with your personal attention and affection. And maybe she needs to do that for herself as well to weather this emotional storm and this mental oppression. But certainly that is going to be emerging and pouring into his energy field because soulmate contract, helping each other heal. Looking at the divine masculine, we've got the martyr archetype in the shadow attribute. Addiction to self-pity, oh, woe is me. But the light, learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. And that cause might very well be to himself with that Page of Cups, narcissist staring into that one cup, learning self-reflection, learning self-love, learning how to embrace and love his own emotions as they heal. With the card of the hermit in his element of earth saying it's going to take time and it's something that he can only do himself. There are certain doors we can only go through solo. That there's a self-healing here that's going to take some time, and considering these two are probably not in the same physical location, that's going to have to play itself out. Even if they are in the same personal space, he's going to have to learn to take personal space for himself. Certainly that celebrating simplicity mantra is talking about boundaries there as well. And what's on his mind is his fate and his destiny, about what's written for him and what isn't. Certainly about his life path. And again, even with the Wheel of Fortune, there's an eight-spoked wheel here. So this is about time. This is about the turning of the seasons as well. That it's just going to take him some time to do that, and that's certainly backed up with that card of that hermit being the god Kronos, the god of time, the Reaper. Not the Grim Reaper of the Death card, but the Reaper of the Hermit, carrying the scythe there. But what's going on in his emotional field is the sun. That Apollo, the god of healing, right? The god of light, the god of the sun. His divine masculine energy is bringing his emotions to the surface for healing, and perhaps there is even an emotional enlightenment. Emotional enlightenment brings emotional insight and emotional healing. And what's the voice from his soul? The Four of Swords, talking about meditation, contemplation, and rest, with the angel of enchantment there saying, my darlings, things are not as they appear to be, that there is a soul contract in place here, that the gods will have their way, and you can resist it as much as you want, but the gods play chess with our lives, and on a higher level, we are the gods in form. So this is all scripted, particularly that it's right next to that card of the Wheel of Fortune. This has already been woven into the warp and weave of the loom of fate. And what is the message from his higher self? I love you. These are very important words. He needs to be saying that not just to himself, not just to his inner child, not just to his own emotions, but to eventually this divine feminine, because it feels like she's sort of going through this and she will not make the first move there, although she may be willing to lavish the one that she loves with personal attention and affection. At the end of it all, at least for this reading, celebrating simplicity, I am more fulfilled when there is less to manage and maintain, perhaps keeping it in the eye, as it were, going Alcoholics Anonymous there for a moment, 12-step, to really keep it simple, right? I am more fulfilled when there is less to manage and maintain. That for her to weather the storm and this mental oppression, and for him to take the time to do his own enchanted rest, relaxation, and personal healing, him saying I love you, her focusing on perhaps the romantic vibration and the emotional healing, they will be more fulfilled when there is less to manage and maintain individually and collectively in this soulmate contract. So there we have it, my Virgo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. A very, very interesting soulmate reading here, whether you are the divine feminine gossip or the divine masculine martyr. It feels like you're both on your way towards your own healing and your own collective healing. And when you do come together, even if you're living in the same space, give yourselves time, because it will be well worth the wait. Wishing you both, let me give you the blessing. May the Virgo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed in their soulmate contracts for April to May 2020, that they may celebrate simplicity, that the love may emerge, that the enchantment may go down, that they may heal, that they may grow, that they may love, that they may become the best that they can be and fulfill their roles in their own individual divine contracts, as well as in the divine plan for this sacred contract, this soul contract, and for the well-being of all. So mote it be. So it is. Wishing you the very best and the very blessed. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell. But for now, my darling Virgos, Virgo power, hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.